Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, Tisha. Morning, 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 morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing, girl? So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For those of you who will be live, yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who will hashtag it and replay it, I love it, I love it, I love it. For those of you who will be on and I don't know you on and I might not never know you on, I can appreciate that. And then for those of you who will be used by Papa at some point down the road, because I'm going to need a little encouragement to do the thing that I do. I'm grateful for you, you, and you. I went back in the seat. It felt like I was about to fall. That would have been funny. Had that recorded. Um, would have been a blooper. I'm okay with bloopers. I do them all the time. So I'm okay with you, and you. Oh, some lotion on my hand. Be right back. Okay. All right. Hand was feeling so dry. So, how are you this morning? So we are still on this concept of quantum leaps. We are still on location in Florida. We decided, Amanda and I, that we did not want to. Hey, Levon, good morning. We decided that we didn't want to rush off the cruise ship and rush back into things and be rushing at the airport and transportation, this, that, and the other. So we stayed in Orlando just one more night and just had a chill, checked into the hotel room and got some deliveries, some food delivered in, and just stayed in. Just stayed in. So we are grateful for the relaxed, extremely relaxed day. And so here we are. Okay, so um, we've been talking about this notion of quantum leap. Hey, Virginia, good morning. Good morning. Quantum leaping, and that is just these radical changes, transformations, but in such a way that we really find ourselves unrecognizable. And there's nothing incremental about quantum leaps. When we're talking about quantum leaps, it's this idea of step of how do I want to say, of going beyond, of passing over some steps, like not missing some steps, but what would be the word where we just say we bypass some steps, we skip some steps. That's what my brain trying to get to. We skip some steps, we go beyond certain steps. Like there's certain, we don't have to stop at all of the stoplights, if you will. We don't have to make all of the junctures. This, and when we quantum leap, when you think of anything, the quantum field, you think of Star Trek and all those things, and wormholes and such, right? I'm a Trekkie, so when you think of those things, they bypass. There's some miles that they don't have to even stop to consider. Like there's some steps, some levels we get to skip. So if we think about it, good morning, Brian. Good morning, sis. If we think about it in the sense of gaining, we don't have to like just go to the next expected level in quantum leaps. We get to look up and say, oh, wow, how did I get here? Like I didn't even touch this level, this level, this level. I went from level 2 to level 10. I went from level 2 to level 200. A quantum leap is unexplainable. You bypassed all levels that you didn't even know existed. You find yourself in a different way. It's certainly in a structural change, but it's such a rapid, radical change, right? And but with the benefit, as if you had touched each one of them. All right. I don't want us to miss that part. With the benefit, with the built muscle. This is not one of those things where we get to the top and we don't have what it takes to stay at the top. A quantum leap, you have the experience of, right? The transformation, you have the build up, you have the learn, the knowledge, the foundation of having touched every level without having had to touch it. I'm just saying, Holy Spirit just gave that to me without ever having had to, because you have such a radical transformation that you are all that you need to be as you make that transition. You're all that you have, everything that you need. So it's not like we cheated. It's not like we just skipped out on something. No, 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 no. A quantum leap has us to have these. And look, this is the thing. Who is our Father? The creator of the universe is our Father. He who created everything that was. And so these rules that we have about building and next steps, those are kind of the rules that we give. But if you think about it, if you've got who was it? Who was it? It was the Ethiopian, I think the Ethiopian eunuch. It was when Stephen, I think when Stephen was transported. You know, he baptized him. He saw him on the road, and then he was transported. I mean, we have all kinds of transformational instructional changes that happen in the Bible, and not necessarily incrementally. So we got lots to base this on, not just woo-woo kind of things or far out science or anything like that. But read your scripture and you'll see that we are not limited to this plane, if you will. We're not limited to what we can explain with science. We are not limited, because just like we are natural beings, we're also spiritual beings. And beloved, I'm going to invite you to invite yourself to leverage the spiritual, to believe in the spiritual plane, to believe in the things that you can't see just as much as you believe in all of our five senses, where we can touch, taste, hear, see, and feel, and all those kinds of things. That believe that the mechanics, if you will, of the spiritual realm, because when we're talking quantum, we're in the spiritual realm. We're in the spiritual realm. The quantum realm is an unexplainable realm. The quantum realm is that things change and they don't necessarily align with our thinking the way that we can process, because there are things that are going to happen on this level and in this realm that just has no natural, logical explanation. All we got to say is clearly God did that. God did it. That's the only explanation is going to be. Like, how did that happen? God did it. How did that happen? God did it. How did that happen? God clearly God did it. I couldn't have done that. I didn't know those people. I didn't know those places. I didn't know those situations. I didn't know how. All we need to do, all you need to do is show up as yourself. That's the message. When you show up as you, you'll get what you need to get. That's the reality of it. All we need to do is show up as us. When you show up as you and I show up as me, then we good. Because then Papa can use us for his glory. Because his glory is us being us. His glory is you walking in your superpower. His glory is you singing your music, telling your story. His glory is you growing in the way that you are to grow, doing what it is that you need to do. That's what his glory is about, beloved. So I'm inviting us to take these quantum leaps that we are invited to. Margie, good morning, cousin. Love you too. Hey, Ray, welcome, welcome. Tanya, good morning, sister. Welcome. So good to see everyone this morning. So, beloved, I'm inviting us to be determined that we are going to take quantum leaps, that we are going to have these radical changes that we are going to choose. So quantum, some other words for quantum is break with the past, conversion, a marked transition, metamorphosis, a radical change, a revolutionary change. You know, love is a revolutionary. Love causes revolutionary changes. Love causes revolutionary changes. Like, I will forever be on a love journey forever, because I know some of the thoughts that I have. And if it weren't for love, right? I know some of the ways I would be acting if it weren't for love. Some of the things that I would allow to come out my mouth if it weren't for love. And so, because I choose not to, I choose love, because that is the keeping power for me. Love is the keeping power. A sudden change, a total change, a transformation, transfiguration, an upheaval, abrupt change, right? And so when we think about this notion of transformation, it does teach, it causes revolutionary changes. And so a quantum leap, it says, abrupt change, an advanced breakthrough, giant strides, inspiration, jump, leaps and bounds, radical change, transilience, an ability to change our state or consciousness. It said we can step into new dimensions through consciousness, because consciousness is limited, is limitless and not bound by time and space. Quantum leaping is simply our ability to change our state of consciousness, And so, but we have to do that through a process of making the unconscious available to our conscious, so that we can act on the thing that we need. And so, so we'll get into that one day, or maybe not. That might be a class or whatever. But anyway, I am inviting us to know that with quantum leaps come doubts, right? Don't you think anything that anybody did, right? When Harriet was trying to help people to get free, you don't think she had doubts? Help the slaves to get free, you don't think she had doubts? When Nelson Mandela was, right, in prison, and you don't think he had doubts? When Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was leading the people, and those who supported him and those who led him, you don't think they had doubts? Especially even after things didn't go the way that they planned, right? After King was murdered, I'm sure that there were doubts. And we can name it, right? Gandhi and Mother Teresa and so on and so forth, and Chavez, right? Doubts on top of doubts on top of doubts on top of doubts. And right? And yet they kept going. And yet they kept going. And yet they kept getting up, and yet they kept believing. So there will be doubts, especially, and the bigger, I was sharing with Amanda, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to go and talk to somebody. Because I am moving to a different level. And so I'm having doubts. I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning my ability. I'm questioning my capacity. I'm questioning, I told y'all every now and then I was saying to myself, girl, go sit down somewhere. You always doing something. Man, life, and then, my brain will try to play tricks on me. Life would be so much easier. Just get up, go to work in a very confined scenario. When you go in, when you leaving, what the paycheck gonna look like, who you talking to, what you talking, you ain't got to have all these moving parts. And then you can just go on and whistle Dixie and whatever, because sometimes my brain just be wanting to not. But then at the same time, there would be no television show. There would be no 540 that's coming from everywhere that I go. There would be no revolution, no self-love revolution. If ever we needed a self-love revolution, we need it now, right? We need one now. There would be no self-love Queen's Adventures, right? No self-love Queens Ventures. And by the way, ladies, if you ever want an experience where you want to be amongst women who cultivate love for all their parts, who honor their souls cry courageously, who build muscles for celebrating her, and who work on sustaining those built muscles. The Queen's Adventure, fun, food, laughter, childlike play, memories that will last forever, transformation. That's what the Queen's Adventure offers. So this year we are doing it abroad here, and we're going abroad next year. But this year we're doing it here, and it will be the weekend after Mother's Day. And if you're interested, if it's something that you want to do, if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you. It's a small group of women. It's a small group, no more than 20 generally, where we get together and Papa gives me programming for that time. But then it's what Papa gives me, but it's also the glory and the beauty of all the other things that we get to do. What is it? Tree Link? Is it Tree Link? I think it's Tree Link and Dr. Catherine E. James. Linktree. I know I will mess some. That ain't the word. Linktree. I don't know, mess some things up. That's not what I wanted to say. I will mix some things up. That's the better word. I will mix some things up. So you can also go to Linktree and get the latest links of the things that's going on with me. So, beloved, I'm just inviting you to quantum leaps. Make sure that you give yourself permission to do the thing that you need to do. To do the thing that is yours to do, to make sure that you have access to all of you, to make sure you have access to all of you. That's what I'm inviting you to make sure you have access to all of you. All right, beloved. All right. Next time I see you, I will be in the D. So I am looking forward to having life-giving conversations. Tonight, we will be back live, and it's not too late to join us for our course that we are teaching, focusing on leveraging you. And we're talking about procrastination, right? That's a part of the conversation. We are talking about procrastination. Thank you, Brian. But that's not all we're talking about, right? We're really talking about leveraging you and maximizing you, releasing procrastination by multiplying your personal effectiveness. That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to multiply personal effectiveness. And that, the byproduct of that, thank you, Brian. The byproduct of multiplying our personal effectiveness is releasing procrastination, amongst other things. All right. At the moment, Abba gave us our breath, me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. I love you. I'll talk to you later. See you later. Bye-bye for now.